Mitchell finally gave in. The split was gone in 1964. The Corvette Stingray was destined to become a classic. Only minor changes were made to the car's shape over the next few years. It was basically the same car. No one wanted to tamper with a classic. Bigger motors were an option. Buyers could order a 427 cubic inch big block motor that came with side-mounted exhaust pipes and flared hood scoops. All of the Stingrays have remained extremely popular with collectors. But by 1967, it was time to make a change. Mitchell had a radical idea for the new Corvette.
This new GM experimental idea car is not for sale, and probably never will be as such. But some of its innovations and touches of styling may appear in the showroom model someday. It's an offspring of the Chevrolet Corvette, known as the Mako Shark II.
The Shark was more than 9 inches longer and nearly 3 inches lower than the Stingray. New features included iodine quartz headlights, retractable stabilizing flaps at the rear, recessed windshield wipers, and remotely controlled louvers that could be opened for ventilation and visibility to the rear. This wild car gave Corvette fans a glimpse into the future. The Mako Shark-inspired Corvette was released in 1968. It had the styling pizzazz of the show car, but not all of its way-out features. The new cars weren't universally loved. Some objected to the styling. Others didn't like the interiors. The cars were plagued with quality problems. This was not a high point for the Corvette, but most people liked the engines. Its big block and standard engines were powerful. Unfortunately, the muscle was about to be stripped from the American car. The era of regulation was underway. The public and the government worried about smog, the environment, safety, and fuel shortages. Horsepower was on the way out. The Corvette needed an ally. Duntov had retired, and Bill Mitchell was ready to go. These factors weighed heavily on the prospects for its future. The Corvette still had support among the car-buying public. By 1982, these fans were paying over $20,000 for a new Vette. Their loyalty helped to convince the company to keep it alive. David McClellan, the new head of Corvette engineering, teamed up with Jerry Palmer, Corvette's new chief designer, to create the 5th generation of Corvettes. The car went from Palmer's sketchpad to the streets by the spring of 1983. The new Corvette looked like a modern interpretation of the Stingray. It had clean lines and an unmistakable aggressive stance. While it was a good-looking car, people wanted to know how fast it would go. The car's 140 miles per hour top speed gave Corvette fans something to cheer about. Its handling and performance prompted some in the media to compare it to Ferrari and Porsche. America's sports car had finally hit its stride. The torch was passed to a new generation of engineers and designers. They were tasked with creating the next generation Corvette. They wanted to be ready for the 40th anniversary of the car in 1993. But budget cutbacks and a mountain of other problems pushed back its release until 1997. Getting the car from concept through testing and out on the street was a Herculean task. The team forged ahead, dodging all the roadblocks and refusing to give up. After spending $250 million and 7 years developing the car, they were ready to show it to the world in 1998. It took a few years to catch on, but its superior performance and handling won over the critics. While it was a different Vette, it still retained some familiar styling cues. This was a car that would finally put to rest the hand-wringing about whether the Corvette was really a sports car that could compete with the Europeans. It was the perfect car to take to any Corvette celebration. The final salute to 50 years of the Corvette took place in America's heartland, Effingham, Illinois. This all-American town was a great setting to wrap up the festivities. Every year, Mid-America Direct, an online and catalog company that caters to Corvette enthusiasts, turns the ploughed cornfields around its Effingham headquarters into the setting for the Fun Fest. Over 30,000 Corvette lovers and their cars showed up for the car's 50th birthday party. Soon, it was time to dream about things to come, the next generation of Corvettes. Chevrolet was ready to introduce the new car in just a few months. It rolled out to the media at the North American Auto Show in 2004. It was quite a departure from the original six-cylinder show car. The new Corvette wasn't radically different from its immediate predecessor, though. The goal was to deliver high performance with style, value, and quality. It was more agile and had better handling. It came with a powerful 400 horsepower V8. A car for taking corners or straightaways with confidence. A car designed to be driven. It did away with the hideaway headlights that had been a hallmark of the Corvette since the Stingray. And the rear of the car was restyled. It's been a long journey for the Corvette. Very few marques can claim an unbroken chain from their inception to the present day. It's been transformed from pretty cream puff to genuine sports car. It's been quite a ride, and it's not over yet.